Hello, Luca. How we doing? How's it going? Hello, how is transport? I'll have to move that camera. I'm not happy with it. Happy with it one bit. Hello, Rainer. Morganster. I need to see, turn my screen around and I can read chat better. I can't see. Hello, Rainer. Morgenstern. How are we doing? Hello, Mr. Mushroom. How's it going? Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to move that camera to the right and tilt it in. It's not in the right position, that. Not at all. Looks gloomy today. What time is it over there? It is 10:47 a.m. Hello, trains. How are we doing? Hello, Steve. How are we doing? Yeah, it was late before I come back on. It was late before I got on. I did go on right at the end, and Jeanette said you'd been on. I'm on a train heading for hospital. Yeah, I've just been watching your video. Yeah, definitely. You know, the camera's not in the right position. I want to get out in a minute and move it. It's just not correct the way it is. They will be checking out my foot today. Always love this train ride. Yeah, excellent. I keep toying with the idea of doing a live stream from a train myself, but it's just a signal. You know what I mean? Unless I could get on a train that's got Wi-Fi on it. Okay, catch you later, Steve. Hope everything turns out alright today and all is well. Excellent. I'm just going to move this camera slightly. I'm not happy with the positioning of it at all. better angle. We're happy with that last angle. Felt like it were all bridge and no track, if that makes sense. I'm not so sure really, I haven't had a look at the timetable yet. Hello, we got a fish dude, how we doing? Any freights around, any freights around, any trains around? Well, there's trains. Let's take a look at the Oracle now and see what's going on. It's a bit quiet for freight at the moment. There's one in about an hour, I think. Hello Chinese person, how we doing? Hello potential Saudi Arabian person, how we doing? Sorry, I don't know your names. Hello Chinese person. How we all doing? Hello. Oscar or Such Productions, how we doing? I'm in the United Kingdom. I'm going to pin it in the chat, then I can US there all the time. I'm doing fine. Same for me here. England. Excellent. Not overly warm, I'm afraid. A bit of a mixed bag of weather as well. Bag of weather as well. Hello, Freddie Rene. How are we doing? It says in the chat where I am, right at the top of the chat, the pinned message. Hello, the train spotter. How are we doing? I'm going to see a possible colours 37, and I'm going to see 4547 Lancashire Fusilier on Friday. Excellent. Hello, Prasad Adara. How are we doing? Hello, Mario Cosato. How are we doing? I drove a train in a video game. Excellent. Hello, Tommy. How are we doing? How's it going, Tommy? I might see the flying banana and 56 or as a 56 or a HTT on Friday at Crewe. Excellent. It's on the timetable for being round here. Today's the flying banana, but it seems to be put on every day and never runs. So I've given up taking notice of it, you know what I mean? Sunny but fresh late morning. Yeah, it's a bit like that here, Tommy. 1 minute sun's out, then there's just patchy cloud and then sun. And but again, it is fresh. It's according to my thermometer, it's 11 degrees, but it feels colder. That's it. Runs as required. Yep. It's on every day as a run as required. There's loads like that on timetable. It annoys me, but there you go. Class 25. That's an easy question for me. Class 25, they put a rotten 31 in, but yet they leave the most iconic one that we're all over the country out. Class 25. Put a 31 in, which were terrible engines from start to finish. They were underpowered. They very rarely worked as single units because they were underpowered. And yet the 25 that were all over the country doing all sorts, they've left out of train sim world. I think it's ridiculous. Probably one of the most popular engines of the 70s and 80s were class 25. It were everywhere. You were literally tripping over them. Yeah, they put a rotten 31 in, which have always been a bad one. All the drivers of the 70s and 80s used to hate the class 31. It was just an underpowered thing. Not popular at all. Hello, Rabiul SK, how we doing? Rabiul SK, how's it going? Don't forget, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button, double tap the screen. I like class 25 on the... Yeah, that's it. Correct. Class 25 were iconic. It were everywhere. Every town and city had class 25s kicking about. Yeah. Can't. Well, yeah, I'm hearing what you're saying, but I'm not so sure. I mean, I could not go on a virtual train ride. You know, once you've sat down, it becomes a very boring thing, then, doesn't it? You can do it in guide mode on Train Sim World. Don't know off the top of my head. I've seen it on the list though. Right, let's have a look. So even the concrete wagons, concrete trains on a run as required now. Today, and that usually runs every day. Hello Masha, how we doing? Hello Raylo Go, how we doing? Yes, I know where you are. Hello Train Spotter Tommy, how we doing? I love trains, I'm also a train expert. Excellent. What's the head code? 5Z45. I'll tell you in a minute where that is. Let's have a look on diagram. 5Z45. 5Z45. Must not have set off yet because it's not. No, there's no head code been allocated for that yet on the system. So it's. If I've said 4 or 5, it's not on the system yet. I've just checked. 11:35 to correct. Yeah, it's because it's not set off yet, so it won't come up on diagram until it's set off. But you reckon it's at Cornfirth here, so let's have a look at Cornfirth diagram. Northwest. Cornfirth and Morecambe. Let's have a look. Nothing on the move at the moment in Cornfirth and Morecambe. There's no actually no services at all in or around Cornfirth at this moment in time. Everything's run as required. It's on Friday. That's no wonder I can't see it. Ask me again on Friday. They don't show up on the system until they're actually active. Yeah, it's the West Coast Main Line. Hello again, Masha. Hello, Senga. I never saw you in chat. Where are you hiding? How's it going? How did you sneak in unnoticed? How's it going, Senga? The sun's beaming down at the moment. Just woke up. Well, I've been up a while, mate. I've been up since, what time did I get up? 7 o'clock. I've had a breakfast, which is something I very rarely do. So I'm good for all day now. I'm fueled for the day. It's the Midland Main Line. No, I'm on the West Coast Main Line. The West Coast Main Line, not the Midland Main Line. So the rail companies buy in engines and then design it a class all companies use instead of just the manufacturer. Correct, yeah, they all get every train gets a class when it's built, when it's made, you know what I mean? They all get it, they all have a class, it's rather with the first, right, in the old days, it was O3 all the way up to, to whatever, I can't remember what the top one were, you know what I mean? But the lowest one was O3, which was a little tiny shunter that coal yards tend to use, because they used to have one in Blackburn, a little O3. I can't remember what they went after. There was an O6, an O8, an O9, a 13, and I can't remember what order they went in that. I don't know if they were a 14 or not, or a 15. There was certainly a 20, because 20s is still in use now. And there were 24, 25, 26, 27, and then class 31 and 33. No, I didn't know. I didn't have a fry up, Tommy. I had some prawns. Wow, who's this that's walking up road? A tall, slim redhead with a black and white spaniel. It's a new one. Hello, Egg, how we doing? You're up at the crack of dawn. I thought she was going to stop and talk to me then. She stood at the side of the car and glanced at the railway track and carried on walking and didn't even look at me, and we were literally 3 foot apart then. What's the crack? Oh yeah. Welcome, Egg. How we doing? Yes, it is, Tommy. Still in use today, correct. Certainly is. I don't know what the highest number is, but up Scotland they're in the 700 series, 765 and all that, and 735, and I've lost track now at classes because there's too many now. Yes, I am, Egg. I'm in a car at the moment. Certainly am. Sat in a car, and my camera's bolted to a fence, peering down onto the track. Yeah, I don't know now what classes they are now, Tommy, because they all look so similar, and there's loads of ScotRail ones that are all very similar numbers. What car? Well, it's a BMW. Yeah, they're all so similar now. It's really hard to keep up. In the old days, I knew every single one because they went from like Class 03 up to, you know, the biggest. It is an X5, yes, it is an X5. Like that one that's just passing now, that's a Class 195. Which is made by a firm from Spain called CAF. C-A-F. Hello, Stuart, how are we doing? I knew it. My dad borrowed a BMW this summer, and it was 500 horsepower. Excellent, that's a lot of horsepower, is that? What kind of BMW were it? Must have been the V8 one. New trains, it went very well. Excellent. I thought, not this early. Are there any British engine manufacturers left? That's a good question, Tommy. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. There's definitely somebody that makes them, because they made them for the HSTs, the 125s, because they originally came with engines, and they were called Paxman Valentas, and they were made by, I think it might be Italians or somewhere like. I can't remember, but they were very unreliable, and they got changed, and a British firm made the replacements. But I can't remember what they were called. Yeah, Bombardier in Derby. Yeah, they still make trains. They build them anyway. I don't think they actually manufacture anything. I think they just buy all the bits in and bolt them together. You know. I've been there to Bombardier in Derby. Call it Derby, but it's actually nowhere near Derby. Well, it's not far from Derby. It's just down the road from a place called Barton under Needlewood, or Needwood. Barton under Needlewood, it's called, near Lichfield. It's next door to a big Stobart rail depot. Yeah, they're not English, even though they are in England, but we don't have anything now in this country. We don't make damn all. Everything's bought in. I can't see the screen. Right, just woke up. I can't. Alright. You need to get your glasses on, Senga. Get your glasses on and get a bit of focusing going. You've still got sleepy eyes. An inline 6 engine, excellent. That's what mine is. An inline 6. Straight 6, as they call it. Got them on. We'll put another pair over at top. I do that regularly. If I have to read some like small writing, I slide another pair over at top at once I've already got on. BMW straight 6s are bulletproof engines. They pop up in so many different cars, it's unbelievable. You know, you think you're in a Merc, and then you look under the bonnet, oops, there's a BM straight 6. You know, they're in loads of different cars, and they just put a different plastic cover over it top with their own name on. Will you guys have some jokes that makes me crack out? Very good, yeah. And it's not that they're quite expensive. You know, some cars are quite expensive. You have to shell out a fair bit. Sun's bright. That's what's making my hard to see the screen because of the damn sun. By the way, the BMW is a cab, and it's from 2007. Right, got you. Yeah, I don't like cabriolets. Unless it's an electric hardtop, but I don't like the soft cabriolets. Yeah. I don't mind convertibles as long as they're hot. Oh, she's coming back. She's coming back. I'm going to wind my window down this time in case she wants to chat. She walked right past me, right next to my car window, and never even looked at me. Mine's a hard top. Yeah, I like hard top. You know, that folds down, but it's a hard top. I don't like rag tops. Oh, she stopped on the fence to look at a train. She might be a train buff. Going to Nissan today. Start the new car process. Excellent. Get on this side of the road. I can't believe it. She's watching trains, this woman. Tall redhead. She's actually dashing backwards and forwards on bridge to look at trains. It's black and new hard top, so it's a pretty cool car, yeah. I just don't like the cloth tops, you know what I mean? If I bought a convertible, it would have to have a hard top. Because convertibles, they're bloody nice, you know, soft tops are awful on motorway. You know, the rag tops, as I call them. Pretty awful on motorway, you know. There we go. No, my look wasn't in. I mean, I had my window down, I smiled at her and she didn't even acknowledge me, so give up on that one. Correct, they are. That's it. They always leak and they discolour in sunlight and they're just awful. Yeah. The big cost in manufacturing is true, and that is correct, is that, Tommy? And it's like cars now. When you buy a car now, you have to the spare parts. The manufacturer has to provide the spare parts even after for 20 years after discontinuation of that model. It's the law that the manufacturer. So let's imagine you buy a Ford Fiesta, and then it's discontinued. Say discontinued in 2020. The manufacturer still has to have the parts, the actual manufacturer, not a pattern part. The actual manufacturer has to have them parts for still available for another 20 years. So all the tools, the press tools, have to be stored. And I know that because I used to take the press tools to a warehouse from Toyota. When I used to work for Toyota, when I used to drive for Toyota, I had to take the press tools, and they were that heavy with press tools, you could only put one on wagon at a time, so you can imagine how heavy they were. Hello James Oliver, how we doing? Hello Zalade, how we doing? Redheads are your thing, right? Yeah, I don't know, yeah, she's certainly looking at trains, but she literally, again, came within 2 foot of my car with my window down, and I smiled, and she never even looked in my direction, so I thought, bollocks to you. Yeah. I don't mind her colour, to be honest with you. It doesn't really bother, but I must admit, Redheads do tend to catch your eye. Redheads and blondes do tend to disrupt your train of thought, pardon the pun. I've sat in many cool cars in my 14 years of life, yeah. Might be working up to it. Yeah, I doubt it. She had her opportunity there. You know, he couldn't have got much nearer. Cracky, Ed were practically in my car, and she just never even looked at me, and I was just sat there smiling. And all she did is spoke to her dog. I've sat in many, oh, I've read that, I've sat in many cool cars. Ask her, does she like cooking and hoovering? That's always a good opening chat online. Yup, you clicked. It's the first time I've ever seen her, so I'm doubting I'm ever going to see her again, because I've never seen her before. I can't place her sort of what she's about, you know what I mean, because she was dressed quite nicely, and hard to, hard to get the cut of her jib, if you know what I mean. I'm usually a good judge off looks that what kind of person it is, and when you can tell straight away. Some of them you just look at them and you think, yep, forget it, just because you can just tell that they're looking for things way above my pay grade. my stepdad has an Audi S3. Yeah, I don't like them. I don't like Audis, to be honest with you, simply because it's just everybody's got one. You know what I mean? They're just everywhere, everywhere. Especially the A3s. I dislike them. You know, don't like them at all. Have you been on a train in Australia? Definitely not. No, because I've never been to Australia. Guys, explain Norway in one word. Excellent. I live in Australia. Excellent. G'day, sport. How we doing? Norway in one word. Norway. Do you get lots of graffiti on the... Do you get lots of graffiti on train in Australia? Many people... We don't get that much, no, to be honest. Not on the passenger trains, but on the freight trains you get quite a bit. On the the trucks on the freight trains, but passenger trains no, because most of the passenger trains they're either running all the time or they're indoors. You know, we have lots of depots that are very secure. Mr. M, remember not cat right, Mr. M. I need to have a word with you. I'm the gaffer here, and I'll decide what we talk about. And if I want to talk about cats, like I did yesterday, I will talk about cats. That's the end of the conversation. Or else I'll just permanently ban you forever. You can go and talk about your class 37 somewhere else, but don't come in telling me what I have to talk about. Do you know the train that goes between Sydney and Melbourne uses an intercity train? All right, excellent. They look the same, yeah. I think I've seen that actually, and they do have a likeness, because a lot of our trains do go abroad when we finish with them. I know. I think it's Bulgaria are still using our class 86s and 87s, which we got rid of 20 years ago. Or is this at RB Cats? Mister, what the hell is your problem? What is up with you? Someone has to investigate. I will see what you're about. Forgot what I was doing then. That sounds very yummy, Tommy. Right, my friends tell me train journeys are very expensive. Well, if you book early, they're not. If you book in advance, they're not so bad. My dad had a BMW 530D E61 a couple of years ago. Excellent. Hello. God, the sun's shining on my screen. I can't read out. Hello. That's a Slav again, Shav. I'm a third generation worker from Bulgaria. Excellent. But it had to be scrapped. It's dinner time here, but I had a couple of corns and a few waffles and cream for breakfast. Excellent. I had a Vauxhall Belmont. My God, they are horrendous cars, the Vauxhall Belmonts. I'd never admit to that, ever owning a Vauxhall Belmont. One of the worst cars ever. They go in the same club as the Allegro, the Maxi. So now he has a Volkswagen Passat, but he's thinking about getting a new BMW. Yeah, Passats aren't bad actually. I had a Passat as a courtesy car, and it was pretty good. I was impressed with it. I have a BMW in white, Wayne Ferrier, excellent. I've got a Holden Astra, excellent. Yeah, I got a Belmont given to me, and I give it away. It was that awful. It was just horrendous cars. Like a misfit Astra with a boot. It just, oh Jesus, I couldn't even be seen in it. It was that bad, and I gave it away to somebody else. I actually gave it away. My uncle has a Dodge Viper, excellent. In Bulgaria, we have 143 in England. How much? I think it's the same. I think it's the same. I think we're the same as Bulgaria because a lot of our trains have gone to Bulgaria. Yeah, correct. British Leyland cars were all rubbish. Let's be honest. You hear these people going being nostalgic about British cars and everything that there's not many cars that we have made in Britain that have actually been good. I mean, even the big top marks now are made in other countries. I know they still make Ford at Liverpool and all that, but I would never have a Ford. Ford and Vauxhall. Opel Amiga, yeah. Vauxhall were alright in the old days. They were trendy. They brought out some pretty trendy cars, you know. Opel Amiga Carlton. Which one is it? It's either an Omega or a Carlton. The two different cars of them. Carlton's like a smaller Amiga, or an Amiga is a modern day, more modern Carlton. I know because I've had both. In the old days, in the late 80s, early 90s, Astra GT and SRI were the cars to have. Everybody had them. But, oh no. If you don't mind living with crank growl, if you don't mind living with crank growl and oil-starved engines, Vauxhall's the way to go. Yeah, I'll tell you what's up with you, Senga. You've been on them brownies too much. Main one in Australia is that Svetoslav. I am a Southern Train fan. Excellent. Brighton zone. Yep. Too many brownies, Sengra. Need to knock the brownies on the head. Hello, Brighton zone. Hello, Kane and Jones. I was hunting everywhere for your link last night that you put, and I couldn't even find your link. You said you put a link on one of my videos. Yeah, the missus decided to go down and sleep with the bloke over the back lane. That's why she smashed the Cherokee in. All right, I see. That's not good. That's not good, pseudo. Best sleep I didn't. Well, yeah, you will have done. I love them. I love Jeep. That's enough of that talk. Get your thoughts back on track. How are we doing, Heather? Good morning, Heather. Is it still morning? Yeah, it is still morning. How's it going? I envisage my one and only ever YouTube video will be me being caned out of my front window by the fire brigade because I looked fat to walk to the ambulance. It will be Holden is Australian, yeah. I understand that. No, I don't drive an Astra. Vauxhall. Can't stand them. With a fella laughing in the background in a Lancashire accent. He's in training. Can I moderate, if that's okay? What do you want to moderate for, Kanan? I've told you before, you're not old enough. The oldest car my family has ever owned is a McLaren. Very good. A McLaren F1, yeah? Our family used to own a space shuttle, but it got too big for garage. Yeah, I drive now an Astra G 2002 with 8 valves engine. What train line is this? It's the West Coast Main Line. I've got socks older than him. Yeah, so have I. Are there lots of diesel trains? Yes. We need more train action. Why not frequent? I don't know. Do you want to ring the companies up and ask them why there's not enough? You can always try a different channel, you know. You don't have to watch if it's too boring for you. It's not a problem. Underpants too. I've been on a train in Australia and I confirm there's loads of I can confirm there's loads of graffiti. There you go, that's from the horse's mouth. I don't think I can sing a link because I'm not a moderator. When I sent the link to the video, it will be Eddystone, it disappeared. No, you don't send it, you just all you have to do is just cut it and paste it. You know, and it but do it on put it on my post page, you know, the page with the posts on. Put it on there. Where there's posts, it says posts. Pop it on there. Okay, Stuart, catch you later. Things to do. That's what I... No, you didn't. You said you put it on the Eddystone page. put it on the post page. Should show up. Doesn't matter if it's not a hyperlink, as long as it's a link. I can copy and paste it. It doesn't have to be a hyperlink. I like graffiti on trains. I don't. I lost custody of my kids after that. Oh, is that after the incident with the car? Right, I understand. It's weird, this lane, because there's only houses on this lane are right big mansions, you know what I mean? They're really big mansions. And Andy, who's Andy? I missed somebody. I'm struggling. Hello, Andy W. How are we doing? Sorry about that. I didn't see you in the chat. My chat's running slowly. I never spotted you. How's it going, Andy? Yeah, the houses on this lane, they're all big posh mansions. And thank you very much. And they come out for a walk, and when they walk down, I mean, I'm about half a mile away from mansions, and yet they look at you in disgust as if you shouldn't be parked here for some reason, like it's their little road, when it's not. It's a public highway, but they just look at you weird. This particular road I'm on, it's just mansions, you know, big. All the houses are, you know, £1 million up. They're all massive houses. We still have it in use locomotive Skoda made in 1975. Czechoslovakia. Excellent. I've just sent the link on the post with the Duke of Gloucester. No, well, I'll check that it's there, but I said put it on the post page. But anyway, doesn't matter. I'll have a look. I'll have a look right this minute, just to see if it's there. But Duke of Gloucester. Is it a short or not a full size video? Tommy, have you seen the series House of Guinness in Netflix yet? Good wee show. Too many brownies, Sanger. Where the hell's the Duke of Gloucester video, Kanan? It's disappeared when I put it back on. I'm so confused. Go to my posts page. My posts page. How long's the link? Is it a massive link or is it just a small bit to it? You know, just post it on my posts page. Not a video. Posts page. On my channel it says video home, video shorts, live playlist, posts. Put it on the posts page. Posts, where anybody can post anything on there. But I don't know. I've no idea. I've no idea. Making me brain hurt, is this? I'm getting brain ache. I don't even think it's going to work anyway. Being an Xbox, I can't see an Xbox. Yeah, don't worry about it, Kiernan. Can you show us some private railroad in the UK? No, we haven't got private railroad. We have railroad, or railways as we call it. So that's a posh area, and give them the railway out car windows. Yeah, yeah. The houses are most of the houses are £1,000,000. And there is I think there's actually little row cottages, but I bet they're £500,000 apiece, and they're only little tiny things. But it's because it's just a road with nothing on it. You see, it's quiet. It's a dead end. It's about a mile long from one end to the other, and it's a dead end. There's no businesses, nothing down here apart from the railway track where I am and fields with cows in. Nothing else. So it's very desirable. But you can tell the locals, you can tell those who live here, because the people who are just passing through are all right, but you can tell the locals because they look at you and like, ooh, what are you doing here? What are you up to, sort of thing. You know, and I just think to myself, well, you can see I'm sat in a car. There's a camera on the fence. It doesn't take flipping Poirot to work it out what I'm doing. Yeah, well, I won't surprise me old Fold, Tommy. It's a bit run down, his old Fold. It's a council, you know, an ex-council estate. Well, I think it's still council. It is still a council estate, but it's not. It's probably one of the worst places to live. They did used to have a big field opposite, but now they're building houses on it, so they're going to be overlooked by a new housing estate as well. Because my school used to be on Old Fold when I went. Well, when I turned up occasionally at school. Wasn't my bag. Wasn't school. Wasn't my thing. Wasn't on my list of to-dos. I thought you said it was okay. Well, it's not bad. Don't get me wrong, Tommy. It's not bad, but it's not somewhere I'd want to live. That's for sure. I've certainly no intention of buying an house. That's for sure. Not playing them silly games now at this time of life. Not a chance. Hello, Mark Pedroza. How are we doing? Good morning from San Francisco. Excellent. How's life? Yeah, the wee man's on the track. How's life in San Francisco? Is that where the trams run up and down the steep hills being pulled by cables? I think it is, isn't it? Amazes me, them trams. Amazes me. Yeah, I think they're brilliant how they have that cable system underground. And all the driver does is pulls a brake with a clamp on it, and it grips the cable, then releases and grips. It's like a reverse brake. To go, he pulls it on to close the clamp, and when he wants to stop, he releases it to open the clamp. The cables are continually being pulled round in a circuit all the time. All the time. Amazing. Yeah, I've been watching videos on it this morning. They have been battered. And now it's battering Cuba, but I think it's lost a lot of its strength now from Cuba. Because my brother's wife's son lives in Cuba. And she's been talking to him, and they've still got telephones and stuff, and he says it's wet and windy, but no out of the ordinary. But yeah, that storm hit Jamaica. Wow, they did get some wind. And we're going to get a lashing. Well, say lashing. We're going to get heavy rain of it on the 3rd of November. It's going to reach the UK, but it's going to be just heavy rain. I watched the satellite picture of it this morning. It's going to leave Cuba, and then they keep saying it's going to hit Bahamas, but it's not. It's going to take a right turn and go across the Atlantic, and it's going to be like a couple of 100 miles north of Scotland. So we're just going to get the rain off it, a bit of rain and stuff next a week of Monday, I think it is. Sorry, no, Monday. This coming Monday's November the 2nd. We're going to get it, which is this coming Monday, isn't it? We're going to get the tail end, but it's only going to be a bit of heavy rain and a bit of wind. Nothing spectacular. Nothing that we aren't already used to. Hello, James. Picture worth $1 million. Enjoyment. Love trains. Watching in San Antonio, Texas, and enjoying. Excellent. Thank you, James. Welcome to San Antonio. San Antonio. What do I think? Oh, yeah, San Antonio. Hello, White Boiled Jeff Da Freestyler. Do you interact with chats, mate? Well, that's what I'm doing now, isn't it? Is that not what I'm doing now? Wild boy, white boy. Sorry. Am I not interacting with the chat now? Can't believe. Oh, years worth of rain in one day. Correct. That's a lot of rain. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm interacting with the chat now at the moment. I don't know. A strange question. I think I'm the most chat reacting person there is out here. If there was an Olympic medal for chat reacting, I think I'm a gold. Hello, the unidentified one. How are we doing? There's lots of people stream and they don't even notice the chat. Or you type something in and they don't react to it for another half an hour. Car's off work today and making me leave the house. Why would he do that when it's cold? It's so cold. Yeah, you're gonna have to get out, Heather. Get out and about. I fell asleep listening to your piano last night. You pianoed me to sleep. Had you not been on it, it would have been Gamazda. Because you were on. You took the top spot off Gamazda. You knocked Gamazda off a perch. Heather's Lullabies knocked Gamazda off top spot last night. Had you not been on, it would have been Gamazda. Oh, why don't you sit in the back of the car, and if any of them local snobs give you a snooty look, just tell them you're waiting for your chauffeur to come back with some scones. Yeah, come back with some scones. Scones. You should do a poll. Who calls a scone, and who calls a scone, a scone? Answers in the chat, please. If you mean scone, just miss the E off. If you mean scone, put an E on it. I call them scones. I thought it was I was in a rough day, but it's all quiet on the western front. Yeah, we call them scones round here. There you go, Sanger, she's a scone. Remember, miss the E off if you think it's a scone. Add the E if you think it's a scone. It's the official scone poll. It's a scone. There, that's two. Scone's winning. I think it's a scone, and I think scone is just a posh way of saying it. And there's a Chinese person. Hello, Chinese person. Ogasawara H. How we doing? I go either really, but it doesn't matter. It's not whether you go either way. It's what do you call them? If you went in a shop, what would you ask for? You can't go either way. You must be one way or other. What would you ask for if you went in a shop? But scone's winning anyway. My pronunciation on the matter is difficult to hear because they're usually just stuffed into me. Cake all already. Yeah, they always taste the same no matter whether they're a scone or a scone. I think we may be going up the forest tonight with Jeff and the Torches, our annual scare the shite out of ourselves Halloween walk. Excellent. You'll have to live stream it, Heather. It'll be like the Blair Witch Project. Is that what it was called, that film? Blair Witch, weren't it? Yeah. You'll have to do a remake of the Blair Witch. I only watched about 10 minutes of that film. I couldn't make moss and sand of it. It did me head in. It was like somebody with a bad video camera shaking it all over bloody shop. All you could see were torches. Ironically, you were a woman in our... We have 7 sisters trees here in Bluebell Woods. Ironically, a woman in it. Oh my God, what's she? I didn't know that. She was called Heather. Hellfire. Hello, Luke Renison. How are we doing? Hello, AMR. How are we doing? We have the 7 sisters trees here in Bluebell Woods. Bluebell Woods? We have a Bluebell Woods in my town, a Bluebell Woods. We did it last year. Nearly broke my neck tripping over tree roots. Yeah, that's my trick, is that, Heather. If I ever went walking anywhere, I was usually the one who always ended up on my arse for whatever reasons. Model train boy, how we doing? Flexi Gamer, how we doing? Yeah, if there's anybody who were going to fall over, you could put money on it, it was going to be me. I remember once I went out with dog and wife knocked me out by accident. She picked up this big log and swung it round her head and smacked me right to kiss her with it. Hello, to your FFX. How many times next train? How many time next train? Well, the next train will just be once. It doesn't go and come back, come back, come back. It's just how many time next train. Next train will be one train, one time. They should add a schedule. To what? We do have a schedule. It's called a timetable. At least it's not far to fall. A soft landing, yeah. Oh yeah, she hit me, kissed her, and then she made and accidentally made the dog jump off a cliff. Oh, right performance, I'll tell you. And you'd only just started dating him. Oh, that's the way. Only just started dating him and you rip your kecks up backside. Yeah, my friends years ago in the woods saw a guy with ghetto blaster fighting with a woman. Oh, hellfire. Did she KO you? Uh, Almost, not quite, but I was dizzy and I could see stars and my eyesight were a bit wonky for a few minutes. And she just picked up this log and I don't know what she was thinking of. She just spun round with it. If you can imagine, she was stood on my left, I was stood on her right. And she grabbed the log from her left, but with her right hand, and just spun it round, meaning aiming, meant to let go of it when her arm was fully stretched forwards, but kept hold of it and smacked me right in kisser. He murdered her friend. He murdered her. My friend found bloody hell. Yes, she smacked me right at kisser. So I fell on the floor and my back in all this mud. And then she, she, after she'd stopped laughing and everything, uh, picked up carried on with this piece of wood and threw it off what she thought was just a bit of a hill, and it turned out it was a big cliff, and dog just did a flipping Superman thing and jumped off cliff and went down about 100 foot, but luckily there was a river at bottom, so it landed in river, grabbed the log and come panting back up after about 10 minutes. You know, if there'd been no river at bottom, that dog would have got injured if not killed. Yeah, it were. That's exactly what it was like. I felt so dizzy and I had a drip of blood right on my head. It didn't hit me in the face, it hit me just on top of my forehead. God, it hurt. Did it? And then she launched a piece of wood off this flipping cliff, not realising there was a cliff there. We never knew it at the time, but we missed it, and it was her stepbrother with a ghetto blaster, right? Oh dear, that's not so good. Yeah, it certainly hurt, did that, I'll tell you. His stepbrother murdered her, yeah. Unfortunately, I haven't had many murders in my time. We had one years ago called, and they call it the Valentine's Day murder because it was Valentine, and it's like 20 years ago. And the guy who did it's actually out walking the streets now, and everybody knows him and what he did. And I'm amazed he walks the streets, to be honest with you, but he does. Yeah, thanks, Tommy. That's about it. The Bluebell Woods murder. That sounds sinister, that. He entered the woods with his ghetto blaster. Oh dear. He wouldn't have got caught. He would have. But it's funny, like how people murder people. They serve the time, and then if you murdered somebody, you'd think after you come out, you'd go and live elsewhere, away from it all. Because obviously you don't want people to know that you're a convicted murderer. But yet the one who did it here in this town where I live, he murdered his girlfriend at the time, who also has family living in the town. This is the amazing bit. And yet he walks around now. I mean, he's quite old now. He's probably in his 60s, I would imagine. And he still walks around. You see him walking around pubs, and I just think, crikey, I'm surprised you haven't been dealt with by the family of the girl that you murdered, you know. Doing the sentence and nothing back to where it happened is a bit... Yeah, it is. It's weird, I know. And I know the girl's brother who he married. I know what is the girl who got murdered's brother used to be my next door neighbour. And yet, as much as he wanted to, he never touched him, I think, because he just didn't want to end up in prison himself, I think. Because we went out and